It's Jay Carney visiting you from my office in the West Wing of the White House, where today I am reviving First Question so that we can hear from you, I can hear from you, get your questions on some of the issues of the day, and give you some answers. We're going to continue to do this and hopefully get a real good conversation going. As I start now, I want to turn to a question from Latrice Butts via Google+. She asks, what is being done about these outrageous gasoline prices? Well, Latrice, that's a great question, and it's a question that a lot of people are asking right now because prices are so high. The President's very focused on that. He's extremely aware of the pain that is caused by high gas prices. That's one of the reasons why he fought so hard to make sure Congress extended the payroll tax cut, which gives 160 million Americans on average $40 extra per paycheck, and that helps defray some of the costs caused by high prices at the pump. The President's made clear, though, that there is not a silver bullet to this problem. We've seen these price hikes every year almost of late, and the fact is oil is a global commodity. The price of oil on the global market fluctuates for a lot of reasons. We need to be focused on reducing our dependence on foreign oil. That's why the President has an all-of-the-above energy strategy that includes increasing domestic oil and gas production, and it has increased over the life of his presidency so far, and it includes investing in alternative energy sources, doubling our output of renewable energy. Actually, later this week, he's visiting a place called the Copper Mountain Solar One facility in Boulder City, Nevada. It's the largest photovoltaic plant in the country with nearly 1 million solar panels powering 17,000 homes. He's going to use that as a way to highlight the need to focus on alternative energy sources as we increase our energy independence. Then he's going to go visit the oil and gas production fields on federal lands outside of Carlsbad, New Mexico, to point out the need to continue to develop domestic sources of fossil fuels. It's part of an all-of-the-above strategy that's the only way for the long term to get control of these very high gas prices. In a related question from Madison Outdoors via Twitter, they ask, will the President continue his push to stop tax breaks to oil companies? What are the chances of this happening? Well, as you know, the President has pointed out that it is high time to end the $4 billion annually that taxpayers subsidize major oil and gas companies in this country. It's a practice that's been in place for a century, and it needs to stop because we can't afford it anymore, especially at a time when oil and gas companies are making record profits. We have to make sensible choices about how we use our resources, and the President believes we ought to take that $4 billion and use part of it to help reduce our deficit and part of it to continue to invest in alternative energy technology and industries so that we in America control those industries and grow those industries and create those jobs rather than seeing them built and developed in countries like China and India and in Europe. So we're going to continue to talk about the need to end those subsidies. Billy Hung via Google Plus asks, what is the White House doing in preparation for the possible outcome where the Supreme Court may rule against the mandate portion of the Affordable Care Act? Will we see attempts to repair it, or will we finally see a push to a true single-payer system? Well, Billy, there's no question that a lot of people will be focused on the Supreme Court and its evaluation of the mandate provision, the individual mandate provision of the Affordable Care Act. We feel strongly that that provision is entirely constitutional, but we'll let the court decide. Meanwhile, we're just going to keep our focus on implementing this important piece of legislation that provides enormous benefits to Americans across the country. Already, millions of seniors have seen their prescription drug costs shrink significantly because of the Affordable Care Act. Already, millions of young Americans up to the age of 26 have health insurance that they otherwise would not have because the Affordable Care Act allows them to stay on their parents' policies. Already, insurance companies cannot, because of the Affordable Care Act, throw you off of their policy because you've developed an illness, and they cannot prevent you from getting insurance just because you have a pre-existing condition. These are important benefits of the Affordable Care Act, and we're going to focus on continuing to implement this important law as time goes forward. That's all the time I have now for these questions, but I look forward to doing it again in the future. Thanks for participating, and I'll see you again soon.